Leonardo DiCaprio didn't become an environmental activist because it looked cool. He didn't wake up one day, sip a green smoothie, and decide, you know what, I'm gonna save the planet. No, his journey into climate activism is way more intense than that, and honestly, way more strategic. Because here's the truth. Leo didn't just join the environmental movement, he built a whole system around it. Like a machine, a global influence engine. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how a Hollywood actor turned into one of the most powerful environmental voices on Earth, and the one decision that made all of it possible.
Now, most people think DiCaprio became an activist after he got rich and famous, but the seed was planted way earlier. Leo grew up in Los Angeles, a city that's basically famous for sunshine and also for pollution. Smog wasn't some random weather issue, it was normal. And as a kid, he was obsessed with animals and nature documentaries, which is usually how it starts for a lot of environmentalists. When you're young, nature feels endless, like the world can never run out of beauty.
And then you get older and realize humans are tearing through it like it's disposable. But caring isn't enough. Millions of people care. The real question is, what makes someone actually do something? And that's where DiCaprio's story gets interesting. Because when Titanic hit in 1997, Leo didn't just become famous, he became world famous, like global hysteria famous. The kind of fame where your face is everywhere and people follow your life like it's a TV series. Most celebrities in that situation do one thing. They disappear into luxury. They buy the mansion, live the good life, and avoid anything controversial. But DiCaprio didn't do that. Instead, he did something ridiculously smart. He treated fame like a tool, like a weapon, because fame is basically attention currency. And attention is the most valuable resource on Earth right now. In the 1900s, oil ran the world. Today, attention runs the world. Whoever controls attention controls conversation, and whoever controls conversation controls what people care about. So Leo looked at his sudden superstardom and basically thought, if the world is going to look at me anyway, I might as well point their eyes towards something that matters. And then he made the move that separated him from almost every other celebrity activist. In 1998, right at the peak of his Titanic fame, he launched the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation. Think about that. He could have just enjoyed being the biggest star on the planet, but instead, he built infrastructure. Not vibes, not tweets, not random donations. Infrastructure. A foundation that could fund conservation projects, support indigenous communities, protect oceans, fight deforestation, and back climate research at scale. And over time, that foundation supported hundreds of environmental projects and helped raise and distribute tens of millions of dollars toward protecting the planet. That's not symbolic activism. That's real-world impact. That's logistics. That's strategy. But here's what made him even more effective. He didn't just throw money at random green causes. He focused on pressure points, oceans, forests, wildlife ecosystems, clean energy, climate policy. Basically, the areas where if things collapse, everything collapses. And still, Leo knew money alone wasn't enough. Because money helps, sure, but stories move people, narratives shape culture, and culture shapes politics. So DiCaprio did what he does best. He started telling stories. One of the biggest examples is his 2016 documentary, Before the Flood, produced with National Geographic. And this wasn't some boring science lecture where someone points at charts for 2 hours. It was cinematic, emotional, and urgent. It showed melting ice, rising sea levels, burning forests, and the human cost behind it all. The documentary hit hard because it didn't just teach facts, it made climate change feel real.
And that matters because humans don't change based on information. We change based on emotion. People hear global temperatures rising by 2 degrees and feel nothing. But show them flooded homes, dying coral reefs, and collapsing ecosystems, suddenly it clicks.
DiCaprio understood something most people don't. Climate change isn't just an environmental crisis, it's a communication crisis. Then came the moment that officially turned him into a global climate symbol. The Oscars. When Leo finally won Best Actor for The Revenant in 2016, the entire world was watching. People weren't just watching because of the award, they were watching because it became a meme at that point. Will Leo finally win? And when he got up there, he could have done what everyone else does. Thank his team, thank the director, cry a little, smile, exit. Instead, he used the biggest spotlight of his career to talk about climate change. He told millions of people watching live that climate change is real, it's happening right now, and it's the most urgent threat facing humanity. That was a power move, because in a world where everyone expects celebrities to stay safe and neutral, he chose to go straight into the most uncomfortable conversation on Earth. And from that point on, he wasn't just a famous actor who cared about the environment, he became a climate megaphone. But, of course, the backlash came fast. Because people love to say, how can Leo talk about emissions when he flies private jets? And yes, he has been criticized for that. But here's the truth nobody wants to admit. That argument is often used as a distraction. Because even if Leo never flew again, the climate crisis would still exist. The real damage comes from industrial systems, fossil fuel corporations, deforestation, and political lobbying. People attack celebrities because it's easier than confronting the real machine. And DiCaprio didn't quit because of the criticism. He doubled down. In 2014, he was appointed as a United Nations Messenger of Peace, focusing on climate change. That wasn't just a fancy title. It was the world basically saying, okay, you're not just a celebrity anymore. You're part of the global climate conversation officially. And he used that role to speak at summits, meet with leaders, and push climate urgency into rooms where decisions are actually made. But here's the most strategic part of all. DiCaprio didn't just focus on awareness, he started focusing on the money. Because he realized governments move slowly, but markets move fast. So he began supporting sustainable investments, conservation technology, and business solutions that could actually scale. He aligned activism with capitalism in a way that forced industries to pay attention. That's the difference between someone who cares and someone who wants results. And this is the part that explains why Leo has stayed consistent for decades, while other celebrity activists disappear after one campaign. He's not doing this for applause. He's doing it for legacy. Most celebrities want to be loved right now. DiCaprio seems obsessed with being respected later. He understands something brutal. In 100 years, nobody will care who won Best Actor. But people will care if we saved ecosystems, protected oceans, and stopped climate collapse. That's why he keeps going. And that story loop I promised at the beginning? Here's the payoff. The biggest decision that turned DiCaprio into a global environmental activist wasn't an Oscar speech or a UN title. It was realizing that fame is temporary. But influence, if used correctly, can outlive you. And that's the real lesson. You don't need to be Leonardo DiCaprio to make a difference. You just need to treat whatever platform you have, big or small, like it matters. Because it does.
If you found value in how DiCaprio turned celebrity into real-world impact, you'll love the next video where we break down the most powerful climate innovations that could actually save the future. Drop a like if this changed how you see activism. Subscribe for more deep dives like this, and I'll see you in the next one.